Palestine right here on Depictions Media Radio. I'm your host, Michael Clogs. Okay, Palestine, a hot topic issue, and well, center of a global General Assembly meeting about how to handle the conflict that is ongoing in the Middle East, especially between Palestine and Israel. And with that being said, that a lot of the current violence that we've been seeing against Israel has been focused on the idea of what they're doing in Palestine. That there are other groups in the Middle East that have decided to use violence to send a message to Israel that they should curb their own violence towards the Palestinian people and find a relevant and valid two-state solution for both Palestinians and Israelis to exist. It's some way to share the land that is there and do it in a peaceful manner. It could be argued that this particular thing has been going on before this current since 2000. What are we at? 2023 in October. It could be argued that this is a conflict that has been raging and dying off for close to would be 8 decades now. It can be argued that way, that it is possible that since the 1940s, when the United Nations decided to create the state of Palestine, or actually as it was then, I believe it wasn't the United Nations at the time, it was actually Allied forces at the end of World War II, decided to create the state of Palestine and displace many peaceful Palestinian people into Lebanon, forming what was a refugee camp and now is, as one person has described, as a permanent ghetto in Lebanon. That it starts there. That's where the beginning of this conflict is 8 decades ago, because these people were well, to be honest with you, they were farmers, they were shepherds, they were simple people, and they, in order to create a Jewish state, that they displaced these people away from their homes. And some of them, in some of the recordings, say, well, this is what I need to do to help the world be a better place. This is what I will do. And the thing, to look deeper into this, the thing of it is while on some of the surfaces we see that, or we're being told that this is a Muslim versus Jewish thing, that's not exactly true either. Because if we dig back far enough into the history of what is Palestine, Palestine was originally created by the Roman Empire, and I probably said this before. It was created by the Roman Empire as a Jewish state to begin with. So that means that the people who were originally on this land coming into the 1940s were probably mostly Jewish to begin with. They practiced Judaism and not Muslims. They didn't practice Islamic beliefs. So what we have managed to do through methods of colonialism and just Western hands figuring that, oh, we'll put our finger into every pie because everything needs to have capitalism and imperialism, that what we've managed to do as a Western society is mess up an ancient and very beautiful region, a region that was rich in history, rich in art, rich in culture. That we've messed it up, and we have bombed the living crap out of what is, and should remain as sacred land to Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. And in the end, future generations are the ones who really miss out, because now they don't know the riches of what that land provided in the idea of culture and being able to walk the ancient roads and cities that are prophets, Messiah, however you want to describe Jesus Christ, Muhammad, and others, however you want to describe them, because of your particular brand of faith, that, well, Gaza has been blown to bits, and with that, so are the streets that these people that are written in the Quran, the Torah, and in the Bible, that pilgrimages spiritual pilgrimages to that land, and seeing how that land survived the time for thousands of years. Well, we took a hand and we kind of swept that away now, didn't we? And why, and for what? And that's the big question. Okay, so let's get into our episodes here, and we're going to listen to Anita Anand, the Foreign Minister for Canada, as she speaks at this General Assembly, speaking about how Canada is going to recognize a two-state solution for Palestine. We will also hear Anita Anand as she stands with Mark Carney, as they talk about some of the conditions that they would like to see happen in order for Canada to stand with Palestine. I'm not exactly sure some of the conditions that they want to kind of pre-approve the political beliefs of who would be elected to run this from Palestine, to run this two-state solution for Palestine on the Palestinian side. I don't think that Western powers at all should have too much say into that. That the people themselves need to have that say. But there are conditions that Mark Carney is saying that are there. One of them, but let's face it, guys, with the Hamas, you blew it. You took hostages. That can never be sanctioned, and that can no one can stand with you when you commit a level of violence like that. On the other hand, the world is outraged because of the genocide that has been committed by Israel. So no one's standing with them on this either, even though Netanyahu isn't going to be asked to step away from power, which probably should happen. But hey, that's my opinion as a podcaster. That does not reflect the beliefs of Canada or the United Kingdom. Okay, then that brings us to the United Kingdom, as they are also going to make a statement about their beliefs of what should happen with Palestine, and how they also are willing to bring sanctions against Netanyahu if the atrocities and the lack of humanitarian effort continue on his part, if he keeps blocking humanitarian effort, that that the United Kingdom is threatening sanctions, and I hope that they actually follow through on that. With that being said, that as far as humanitarian effort is concerned, that Mark Carney and Anita Anand have negotiated a partnership with Jordan that humanitarian efforts can enter Gaza through a corridor through Jordan, which hats off to the government of Jordan that they would allow humanitarian efforts to our fellow human beings in Gaza. So why don't we get started? And we're going to start off with listening from the General Assembly floor with Anita Anand and move forward with everything from there. And our blessings to the people of Palestine. We hope that the humanitarian efforts get through, that the starvation ends, children go back to school, and the acts of physically rebuilding Gaza and healing the wounds between Israel and Palestine are fixed, and that a real two-state solution can be found that brings about equality to all of the people of that land.